In this video, we will go over all the picks and method of victory predictions made by the UFC Prediction Channels on YouTube for this weekend's UFC Fight Night Lewis vs Teixeira. Opening up the prelims, we have a fight in the women's strawweight division between Fatima Kline and Melissa Martinez. With minus 1250 in average odds, Fatima Kline is the biggest favorite on this card and Martinez has plus 775. 92% of the Tapology community have picked Fatima Kline to win and most expect she will win via decision. But she's even a bigger favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 73 out of 76 pick her to win for 96%. The best predictors over the first 6 months of 2025 pick her 5 out of 6. The best predictors are highlighted in green. The ones in dark green had a return on investment of 5% or higher and lighter green below 5%. The best predictors on favorite fighters in odds have it 3 out of 4 for Fatima. And the best predictors on underdogs have it 1 out of 9 for the underdog Melissa Martinez. For more information and to find out who are the best predictors overall on underdogs and favorites, check out my 6 months results video. A link can be found in the video description. Which method of victory have the UFC prediction channels picked for each fighter? 4 out of 45 go for KO/TKO for Fatima Kline and 14 go for a submission, but the most they go for a decision. 26 out of 45 for a decision for Fatima Kline and 1 for Martinez. The next fight is in the lightweight division between Mitch Ramirez and Mike Davis. And again we have a huge favorite on this card with Mike Davis, with the average odds of minus 870 and plus 670 for Mitch Ramirez. Davis is also a huge favorite in picks by the Tapology community and with 96% he is the biggest favorite in Tapology picks on this card. And they are kinda 50-50 with how he wins for KO/TKO or a decision. The YouTube predictors have it 73 out of 76 and the number 76 isn't correct, it should be a total of 75. I'm not sure where it goes wrong, but I'll fix it for next time. And only 2 channels have picked Ramirez to win. Guaranteed from Bros Talk MMA and the Die Hard MMA podcast. The best predictors have it 6 out of 6, the best favorite predictors 4 out of 4 and the best underdog predictors 9 out of 9, all for Mike Davis. For method of victory, 22 out of 47 predict a KO/TKO for Mike Davis. 7 channels expect a submission and 1 submission prediction for Ramirez, which has the highest average odds of plus 3,350. So if he's right, that could be a nice payday. And the rest of them, 16 in total, go for a Mike Davis decision. Next fight is in the heavyweight division between Kennedy, Nzechukwu and Valter Walker. Nzechukwu is the favorite with minus 210 in average odds and Walker the underdog with plus 170. 70% of Tapology go with Nzechukwu and most predict a KO/TKO. The YouTube prediction channels have it 50 out of 77 for Kennedy for 65% and 27 of them go with Valter Walker. The best predictors have it 5 out of 6 for Kennedy and the best favorite predictors go with the favorite Kennedy 4 out of 4. And the underdog, Valter Walker, is only picked by one of the best underdog predictors. For method of victory, exactly half of them go with Kennedy Nzechukwu by KO/TKO. 13 out of 48 predict a submission win for Valter Walker and 1 channel has him winning by a decision. And 9 out of 48 also go for a decision, but then for Kennedy Nzechukwu. For the next one, we go to the women's flyweight division for a fight between Lauren Murphy and Eduarda Moura. And here we have another huge favorite on this card in Eduarda with minus 645 in average odds and plus 455 for Lauren Murphy. 90% of the Tapology community pick Eduarda Moura and almost all of them expect she will win via decision. But she's a much bigger favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 75 out of 76 have picked her to win and only 1 channel went with Lauren Murphy, which is Real Sports Bet Picks. And all of the best predictors and the best predictors on favorites and underdogs pick Eduarda Moura to win. Out of the 75 channels that picked Eduarda Moura to win, 46 made a method of victory prediction. And 6 predict her to win via KO/TKO, another 6 go for a submission and the rest of them, 34, go for a decision. Then we go to the welterweight division for a fight between Jake Matthews and Chidi Njokuani. With minus 155 in average odds, Chidi Njokuani is the small favorite and Matthews the slight underdog with plus 130. Chidi is also the slight favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 59% and 41% for Matthews. And no matter who wins, most expect this fight to go to a decision. And the YouTube prediction channels agree. Chidi is also a small favorite here with 44 out of 77 for 57%. But Chidi becomes a much bigger favorite in picks by the best predictors with 5 out of 6. 3 out of 4 of the best favorite predictors go with the favorite Chidi. And the best underdog predictors go with the underdog Jake Matthews 3 out of 9. For method of victory, 9 out of 50 have Chidi winning by KO TKO. One channel has Jake Matthews winning by submission. And the rest of the channels go with the decision, with 16 out of 50 for Jake Matthews and 24 out of 50, almost half, for Chidi. If you enjoy the content and find it helpful or informative, then don't forget to like this video or subscribe. Thank you so much. The featured prelim fight is in the welterweight division between Max Griffin and Chris Curtis. And Chris Curtis is the big favorite with minus 320 in average odds, and with plus 250 Max Griffin the underdog. And he's also a huge favorite in picks by the Tapology community, and 95% of them expect Chris Curtis to win, and most think via decision. And he's even a bigger favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels, with 75 out of 76 picking him to win for almost 99%. And Max Griffin is only picked by Guaranteed from Bros Talk MMA. And the best predictors and the best favorite and underdog predictors all pick Chris Curtis to win. And for method of victory, 10 out of 49 pick Chris Curtis to win by a KO TKO. No one has picked a submission, and most are going with a decision victory for Chris Curtis with 38 out of 49. And the only channel that has picked Max Griffin to win thinks he will do so via decision. Opening up the main card, we have a fight in the light heavyweight division between Junior Tafa and Tuco Tokkos. Junior Tafa is the favorite with average odds of minus 175, and with plus 140, Tuco Tokkos is the underdog. With 76%, 3/4 of the Tapology community pick Junior Tafa to win, and most expect he will win via KO TKO. But he's not such a big favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 50 out of 77 for 65% pick Junior Tafa, and 27 out of 77 go with Tuco Tokkos. But most of the best predictors over the last 6 months have Junior Tafa winning this fight with 5 out of 6. The best favorite predictors go with the favorite Junior Tafa 3 out of 4, and the best underdog predictors go with the underdog Tuco Tokkos 2 out of 9. 44 channels made a method of victory prediction, and 3/4 of them predict Junior Tafa to win via KO TKO, and 1 for Tuco Tokkos. 4 channels go for a submission win for Tokkos, and for a decision win we have 5 for Tokkos and 1 for Junior Tafa. The next fight on the main card is in the heavyweight division between Vitor Petrino and Austen Lane. With minus 710 in average odds, Vitor Petrino is another huge favorite on this card, and Austen Lane the big underdog with plus 500. And the Tapology community go with the odds makers. 94% of them pick Vitor Petrino to win, and almost all of them predict a win via KO TKO. And we see the same results in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 72 out of 76 go with Vitor Petrino for almost 95%. And all of the best predictors, the best favorite and underdog predictors also go with Vitor Petrino. For method of victory, we have 45 out of 51, so almost all of them going with Petrino winning by KO TKO. And 2 KO TKO predictions for Austen Lane, 1 submission for Petrino, and the rest is a decision with 2 for Petrino and 1 for Austen Lane. Up next, we have a fight in the featherweight division between Nate Landwehr and Morgan Charrière. And Charrière is a pretty big favorite with minus 275, and with plus 220 Nate Landwehr the underdog. 77% of the Tapology community go with the favorite Charrière to win, and most predict he will win via decision or a KO TKO. He's also the favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels with 57 out of 79 for 72%. But he's a bigger favorite in picks by the best predictors with 6 out of 6, and the best favorite predictors 4 out of 4 for 100%. And Nate Landwehr, the underdog, is picked by the best underdog predictors only 1 out of 9. For method of victory predictions, we only have 1 channel picking Landwehr to win via KO TKO, and 21 out of 47 for Morgan Charrière. 0 channels predict a submission in this fight, and for a decision we have 6 for Landwehr and 19 for Charrière. Want to support the channel and unlock some extra perks? Consider becoming a member on Buy Me a Coffee or a supporter on Patreon. There you will get daily updates after this video went live with the latest picks and method of victory predictions for this upcoming card. I would appreciate your support a lot and will be very grateful. So thank you so much for considering. Links can be found in the video description. Up next we go to the featherweight division for a fight between Kattar and Steve Garcia. And in odds, this fight is the closest fight on this card. Garcia is the small favorite with minus 124 in average odds, and with plus 103 Kattar, the small underdog. Although this fight is almost even in odds, 78% of the Tapology community go with Steve Garcia, making him a big favorite there. And most are predicting he will win via KO TKO or via decision. And we see the same in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. Garcia is also the favorite there, with 57 out of 79 for 72%. The best predictors go with Steve Garcia, 4 out of 6. And with favorite predictors, it's 50-50 with 2 out of 4 for both fighters. And the best underdog predictors heavily favor Steve Garcia as well, with 7 out of 9 picking him to win. For method of victory predictions, most are going with Steve Garcia winning by KO TKO, and only 4 for Kattar. 0 channels are going with a submission for this fight, and then for decision we have 6 for Kattar and 7 for Steve Garcia. And then for the co-main event we have a fight in the welterweight division between Thompson and Gabriel Bonfim. With minus 425 in average odds, Gabriel Bonfim is the big favorite and Thompson the underdog with plus 325. 74% of the Tapology community are predicting Gabriel Bonfim to win, and most expect he will win via submission. But when we look at the picks from the YouTube prediction channels, Gabriel Bonfim is a huge favorite with 73 out of 77 for 95%. And we only have 4 channels going with Thompson. And one of those 4 is one of the best 6 predictors over the last 6 months. But the other 5 of the best predictors go with Gabriel Bonfim. The best predictors on favorite fighters and odds go with the favorite Gabriel Bonfim, 3 out of 4. And the best underdog predictors go with the underdog Thompson, only 1 out of 9. For method of victory predictions, we have 2 channels going with the KO TKO for Bonfim, and 33 out of 50 picking him to win via submission, and 13 have him winning via decision. And only 2 channels have picked Thompson to win via decision. For the last fight of the night, we have the main event between Derek Lewis and Teixeira in the heavyweight division. Teixeira is the favorite with minus 285, and with plus 230 Derek Lewis the underdog. Teixeira is the favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 68% and 32 for Derek Lewis. But no matter who wins, almost all of them agree this fight will end in a KO TKO. In picks by the YouTube prediction channels, Teixeira is even a bigger favorite with 63 out of 80 for 79%. And the best predictors over the last 6 months have picked Teixeira to win 5 out of 6. The best predictors on favorite fighters go with the favorite Teixeira, 3 out of 4. And the underdog, Derek Lewis, is picked by the best underdog predictors, only 1 out of 9. For method of victory predictions, 53 out of 54 expect this fight to end in a KO TKO, with 12 for Derek Lewis and 41 for Teixeira. And there's one channel that also picked Teixeira via submission. But none of the channels expect that this fight will go to the judges. With all of these picks and method of victory predictions plus odds, what could be some good betting opportunities on this card? The first one is Chidi Njokuani, who is a small favorite with minus 155 in average odds. But he is a big favorite in picks by the best predictors with 5 out of 6 and the best predictors on favorites with 3 out of 4. And for his method of victory, almost half of all the predictors go with the decision win for Chidi Njokuani with odds of plus 150. The next potential good betting opportunity is Morgan Charrière. He is a big favorite with minus 275 in average odds, but is picked 100% by the best predictors 6 out of 6 and the best favorite predictors 4 out of 4. But when we look at the method of victory predictions, 21 out of 47 pick him to win by a KO TKO and 19 out of 47 by a decision. So he's slightly favored to win by a KO TKO, which gives you much better odds than a decision. 220 for a KO TKO and only 135 for a decision. And the last best betting opportunity is Steve Garcia. Although he is a very small favorite with minus 124, he is the favorite in picks by the best predictors with 4 out of 6, it's 50-50 by the best favorite predictors, and 7 out of 9 by the best underdog predictors. And for his method of victory predictions, more than half, with 28 out of 45, go with him winning by KO TKO, which gives you odds of plus 185. Hope you enjoyed this overview of all the fight picks. If you found it helpful, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to support the channel while getting exclusive updates, consider becoming a Patreon supporter or a member on Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you so much for watching, Have an awesome weekend, enjoy the fights, and I will see you in the next video.